What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sleazy here, and Joe Rogan has some of the most incredible guests on his podcast. And sometimes he has some of the weirdest people on his podcast. I mean, you talk about Alex Jones, you talk about Graham Hancock, let's see, uh, Joey Diaz, just some of the absolute most insane interviews. And he did one with, in air quotes, literally air quotes, reformed convict who did time in prison, got out and said, I'm fighting for justice and to help everybody get reformed. But there's a huge problem with this guy. He went on this podcast and may have had a dead body in his refrigerator. And that's not even the craziest part of the story. I wish I was joking. So I've actually got to cover 2 articles to get a lot of the details out and probably why you haven't heard anything other than Joe Rogan should take the podcast down. Because I think I know why they're saying Joe Rogan should take the podcast down. I really do. But that's coming later. So let's go ahead and start reading some of this. A high-profile anti-violence activist and ex-con has been charged with murder, manslaughter, and weapon possession less than 1 month after appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience. 48-year-old Sheldon Johnson Jr. was taken for questioning by police after reports of gunfire led officers to his Bronx apartment, because it's always New York, where the mutilated corpse of Colin Small was found. And this is going to be your warning, because it's going to get a little gruesome. Small had been dismembered, his decapitated head found with a bullet wound. Several body parts were also discovered inside the freezer, including Small's severed arms, legs, and a foot. So, I know everybody's got questions, but my question is, if you're going to go through the effort to dismember a body, did you try it? Did you take a bite? I think you did. I really think you did. Security footage shows the suspect, assumed to be Johnson Jr., wearing various disguises as he entered and exited the building elevator. That's where I've got to get into why this one is actually kind of going under everybody's radar. Nonetheless, Johnson Jr. declared his innocence to reporters as he was led from the 44th Precinct Station House to appear in Bronx criminal court. Prior to his latest arrest, Johnson was sentenced to 50 years in an upstate prison for a 1997 robbery committed in his early 20s. He was released in May after 25 years and hired as a client advocate for Queens Defender. So he's supposed to do 50 years. He got out in 20 years and almost immediately murders and dismembers somebody. Okay, going political for a few seconds here. This is what New York gets for doing its, well, maybe these killers aren't actually killers and they just murdered this one person and they'll never do it again, so they should go out onto the streets. Absolutely not. We just had to watch fucking Biden's State of the Union, where he got backlash because he called someone illegal after they murdered a 18-year-old girl. And he couldn't even say the girl's name right. But he goes on national television and apologized for calling the guy illegal. Like, this is the absolute lunacy of the United States right now. Absolute lunacy. Appearing on Joe Rogan podcast in an episode titled Sentenced to 50 Years, Sheldon Johnson decided to turn his life around. That was a lie. Where's Maury? We determined that was a lie. Johnson Jr. discussed his criminal past and moving forward to not just robbery, but now dismemberment. His lawyer also appeared in the episode, dubbing Johnson a miracle and claiming he had been unfairly sentenced to the robbery. There are so many people that will go on podcasts and be like, I'm innocent, and meanwhile there's a body in their freezer. I didn't do nothing. Still available on YouTube, viewers pointed out how the episode failed to age well when Johnson was arrested for a much more serious crime this time. 25 years locked up, should have been let out in the first place. I saw an article that stated it stemmed from a feud from his time in prison. I mean, you're just making excuses. Literally, you have so many places to go, and you choose to be where that guy is with a gun, kill him, dismember him, cut his body up, and store it in your freezer. Could have gone anywhere else, done literally anything else. It's a huge blow for criminal justice reform because folks will say he seemed fine and improved, yet for this to happen, how can we trust others? Another lamented sad day for future people trying to better themselves because of this person's actions, assuming he's convicted. He had body parts in his freezer of a man he shot and murdered in the street. Okay, so I promised a bigger payoff to this video, and we're getting there. Right, so this has been relatively quiet. Not a lot of people know what's going on. So here, New York Post, ex-con turned NYC criminal justice activist busted after head of personal rival found in freezer of apartment he was seen leaving in blonde wig. That's it. Hold on, they got the pictures here. The dude was wearing a wig pretending to be a woman. I'm looking around because I'm trying to figure out, like, is somebody else going to say it? There's a man pretending to be a woman that murdered somebody. Or at least wearing a disguise to dismember them and get rid of the body. Like, I'm laughing. It's disgusting, but yeah. Prison reform. Yeah. Cashless bail, letting people out early, not holding people. I like how people say, well, this is just one. It's not a one-off thing. If you think it's a one-off thing, you're not paying attention, and there's nothing I can do for you. Absolutely nothing. I don't think I need to say any more for this video. But people are calling for Joe Rogan to take the podcast down. I think he should absolutely 100% unequivocally never take this video down. I think it should remain up for all eternity. I want to see the podcast be used in the trial for him saying he does nothing wrong. For he is reformed. Absolutely use it to nail him to the wall. But I'm sure some weirdos will be in the comment section trying to justify all this. It's okay to dismember people. I mean, shit. They can't even. I mean, shit. We have bug sympathizers for fucking games. Fictional shit justifying that bugs should eat people. Why wouldn't they justify people murdering people and dismembering them? Why wouldn't that happen? But again, yeah, I think this podcast should stay up forever. Forever. Trust is earned, not given. And this is what happens when you give people trust, especially when they're convicted of crimes. Just go do it again. But anyway, guys, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. And until the next one, please don't murder and dismember me. Be easy like sleazy.